The Christmas season is probably our favorite time of the year. Setting up the Christmas tree, hanging the lights, exchanging gifts with loved ones, and most importantly, remembering what it's really all about. Cold hard cash! Like every square inch of a Kardashian's body, Christmas is an extremely marketable and capitalized entity. You can find just about anything with the Christmas theme to it to get your wallets in the holiday spirit. But the most famous and well-practiced of these Christmas traditions are the holiday movies. From old heartwarming classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and It's a Wonderful Life, to more comedy-based movies like Christmas Vacation and Home Alone, there's a Christmas movie for just about everyone.
But wait, you say, there aren't any Christmas movies for me. I only like action movies with one-liners and tons of violence. Well, guess what? There is a movie that's got you covered, Die Hard. But guess what else? Die Hard is a good movie, so we're not gonna review it. Instead, we've got a discount version of Die Hard, Christmas Rush.
You know when you wanted a PS2 for Christmas and your grandma went to Goodwill and got you the Dreamcast? And you're like, thanks grandma, I always wanted this. Well, this is exactly what Christmas Rush is to Die Hard. So without further ado, let's rush into it.
Our film starts off with the main villain, Jimmy Scalzetti, played by Eric Roberts, explaining to some professional hobos what his big heist plans are. He's planning on robbing the Chicago Plaza shopping mall on Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve, there will be $10 to $12 million in unmarked, untraceable cash sitting in that basement vault.
We then cut to our main hero, Morgan, played by Dean Cain, who's on a stakeout with his partner, and soon enough, the bad guys arrive.
You want to know why this movie is not as good as Die Hard? Well, you don't have to look any further than this scene. They show up and it's all of a sudden a street fight out of nowhere, complete with the sound effects. Ooh. Look at this guy. Without missing a beat, he just rips off his shirt at the first sign of danger. He's probably been training his whole life for this moment. And for what? He just instantly goes down.
So Morgan and the police surround the gang and tell them to come along peacefully. They respond by opening fire, which prompts Morgan to shoot the leader once, twice,
3 times a lady.
This lady, as a matter of fact, who has somehow obliviously wandered into a loud gun battle. But unfortunately, he wings a very important member of Chinatown in the crossfire.
I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
So at this point, the movie just goes around telling us that Morgan and his wife Kat are pretty much failing in every aspect of being people. He even gets suspended from the force temporarily due to his nocturnal winging of the buns. Hey, but it's okay, his partner's here to cheer him up. Speaking of his partner, I don't know what this guy's deal is, but he was injected with just pure Chicago.
Instead of an attaboy, you get put on the rubber gun squad. Good honest coppers get shot 2 degrees. It's true then, and it's true now. Once a thief, always a thief.
Nobody else talks like this in the movie. Hey, pal, don't you think your accent's taking away from the movie just a little bit?
That has nothing to do with this. This is Chicago.
Okay, fine, but like we said before, Morgan and Kat are being really bad at everything, like talking to each other.
My hours are maxed out at the Goldsmith morgue.
I can always join the snowball fight.
You think this is a joke?
Yeah, it's a real thigh slapper, honey. Don't be stupid.
Kat, obviously upset at his joke, storms off to work at the Chicago Plaza Mall on Christmas Eve. Later that evening, Morgan decides to go apologize to his wife, and on his way he recognizes Scalzetti and knows he's up to no good. Although, with a walk like this, he's pretty easy to spot.
Scalzetti and his band of stereotypes start to take over the security office and steal the shipment of money. Everything seems to be going according to plan, but then Morgan jumps on the scene to take the money and get help. Scalzetti sends his Russian stereotype and a version of Josh Groban, if he never became famous, after him. Morgan hides the money and tries to call his wife, but she gets kidnapped and thrown in the storage room with the rest of the hostages.
Hi, I'm Kat.
But whoa-oh, our hero is stopped by the Russian and a gunfight / extreme tango dance ensues. Fortunately for Morgan, the bad guys in this movie suck at shooting as bad as he sucks at doing other things in life. Hey Scalzetti, maybe you should have hired some actual professionals instead of a bunch of hobos you found at the park.
Josh Groban gets mad and wants revenge on Morgan, so he disobeys Scalzetti's orders and hunts him down. And this guy, he's probably the most entertaining character in the whole movie. I mean, just look at him. He's wearing a leather jacket with blue sweatpants, and anytime he gets hurt, he makes these weird squawking noises.
But watch out, because Scalzetti figured out that one of the hostages is Morgan's wife, and he uses her to make Morgan stop killing all his men.
So Morgan makes a trade, the cart of money for his wife and the other hostages. He knows that he has to stop the robbers, so once he frees them, he continues pursuit.
But watch out, because when he called for backup earlier, his partner answered the phone, and it looks like his partner was in on the plan the whole time. Whoa! And this leads to another intense conversation, Chicago style.
You're not gonna shoot me, Rich.
You think I wanna? If I had any idea it'd come to this, I never would have signed on.
I say it's not too late.
Yeah, it is.
Rich. Come on, you can't do this.
That has nothing to do with this. This is Chicago.
At the last minute, Kat shows up and manages to free Morgan, but not before managing to get herself kidnapped again. Or should I say, catnapped?
No, you shouldn't. Scalzetti's plan was apparently to escape the mall by driving go-karts through underground tunnels beneath the mall. And though the movie tries to make this part an intense chase scene, it's kinda hard to look cool and drive a go-kart. They even put in this whole scene showing how much of a pain it is to try to turn one around. This probably wasn't even scripted. They were just like, hey, Dean Cain, turn around. And he was like, okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
Finally, after Morgan kills the last of Scalzetti's hench hobos, it's down to just Scalzetti with a big bag of money. By this time, the real cops have shown up, and they manage to blast Scalzetti before he can even do the boat chase scene. No, Scalzetti, no! No more chase scenes for you. At the end of the movie, he gets a big bonus check from the mayor for killing all the bad guys, one of them being the husband of this lady, who's standing right there. Hey, thanks for killing Scalzetti, the father of that kid who's sick, and whose wife's standing right next to you. Thanks for killing him. He's dead now, and we like it that way.
In the end, Morgan decides to give his huge bonus check away to the kid's mom to pay for his operation, which luckily was enough to help out.
This movie is over the top, super cheesy, uses way too many slow motion cuts, is a direct and shameless ripoff of Die Hard, and you know what? I love it. It may be a not so good of a movie, but you can't help but enjoy yourself when you watch it. The action scenes are fun, the villains are comically stereotyped, and the plot is very predictable, but it's still a ton of fun to watch if you don't take it too seriously. But when we think about it, we're not so sure Scalzetti was the bad guy.
I felt better my whole life.